Today we're going to be breaking the makeup rules. So you have probably already heard the big thing all over the internet. Everyone's saying it. They're saying never put powders under liquids. So how do you know if you've never tried it, right? It's probably something that you've never tried because you just heard not to do it. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's absolutely possible to do that, and I'm going to show you how. So for me, when I'm kind of struggling with my foundation, like as you can see, I have adult acne, and it's pretty obvious. I've been treating it for 3 years. I've been going back and forth. It's this constant battle for me. So when I'm trying to switch up my foundation routine to really protect my skin and help treat my acne, this is the technique that I go to. So I'm gonna show you how to put a loose powder underneath your liquid and how it can look flawless and how to do it the right way. You probably heard to never do it because the people who are doing it wrong. I'm really big on breaking the makeup rules because all makeup rules do is bound you to someone else's style. So it limits your creativity because now you have these concepts of rules that you must follow, which in turn limits what you can achieve. The only thing I have about makeup when it comes to rules is if it's something that's generally gonna harm your skin in any way, shape, or form, or harm you as an individual. That's when I talk about, hey, don't do this because this will cause acne and irritations and things like that. That's when I have makeup rules. Other than that, when it comes to style and creativity, I really encourage you to not follow those rules because you will limit yourself. So let's go ahead and get started. Here's what you need in order to do this. What we're gonna do is we're gonna start off with whatever moisturizer that you use for the morning to kick off your day. And here's the trick. You have to use a loose powder, a very fine powder. So you can use translucent or you can use one with a tint. So if you have nice skin already and you're not trying to cover up very severe blemishes like I am, use a translucent powder, something that's clear because you don't need this extra tint for additional coverage. But if you have spots like I have and you want to cover them and have a little bit extra coverage on those, then go with a tinted loose powder. So for today, I'm using the Urban Decay. This is the Naked Medium Ultra High Definition Loose Finishing Powder. And this is the trick. You don't want to use a thick powder or a pressed powder because it's too thick, and that's when you'll start to the powder underneath the liquids. But this is what you need. And then you're gonna take your favorite liquid foundation. To apply it, you could literally use your hands to apply the liquid. I used to do that all the time when I was growing up because I couldn't afford brushes. But for today, I'm gonna be using this Kabuki flathead brush in order to apply my liquid, and I'm gonna be using a face brush, a fluffy powder brush, in order to apply the translucent powder. So let's go ahead and get started. Step one, right? Moisturizer. What you want to do is put a nice layer of moisturizer all over your skin. And if you're going to be spending any time outside today, just make sure you have the proper amount of SPF in your lotion. Step two, take the loose powder. And you're going to put a nice coat on your whole face. Bring it down your neck. And to do this, you want your brush to be very soft when it touches you. You don't want to like get in there and like dig deep and like push it in. You want to be very gentle with your brush technique. So literally it should feel like a face massage. Barely want the brush to be touching my skin. And you can do circular motions, you can do back and forth. Okay, now as you can see, that kind of softened up my harsh blemishes. Now we're gonna take our favorite liquid. And for today, I'm gonna be using the Cargo HD foundation, but I want you to use whatever foundation is working well for you. We all have different skin types. Our skin reacts differently to it, and I just want you to not feel like you have to go out and buy every product that I use because I'm not promoting products. I'm promoting what looks good on you. Now I'm going to take this Kabuki flathead brush. I'm going to go ahead and pick up the liquid foundation. And I'm gonna just gently start putting it all over my skin. And what I'm doing with this Kabuki flathead brush is I'm just pushing the product in by doing 1 dab, 2 dab, 3 dab, non-stop dabs, kind of like a dance routine, like how you dance, you count your steps. That's how I think of when I press my foundation into my skin like a dance routine. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, calm down, Melanie. So literally it's like press, dab, press, dab, press, dab, press, dab, and it's constant motions, and it's very soft too. I'm not pushing really hard, but I'm just pushing the product in. Okay, wow. Can you literally see? In person, this looks better than my normal foundation routine, which is liquids first, then a powder over to set it. This, to me, looks better. It's more flawless. It's not cakey one bit. And it really does help me use a lighter layer to cover up my blemishes, because I'm trying to control my acne and I don't want to put 7 layers of creams and contours and all this stuff on my acne, or it will be way worse than it is. So I'm trying to go for a light touch, but still as much coverage as I can. And this, as you can see, I barely put any of my normal amount of liquid foundation on my skin to get this coverage, and I absolutely love it. So what I'm gonna do is just blend it down my neck to make sure all that's nice and smooth. All right, and there you have it. You just put a powder under a liquid. Woohoo! Try it out, you're going to love it. So now we're gonna do an eye look, and I'm gonna go for a pinkish natural tone for my eye look. And I really want to use this Fenty Beauty shade. It's a liquid liner. I just got it, and I can't stop staring at it. I got it in a trio pack of liquid liners for $35, and I was like, oh, I literally, I didn't plan on using it today, but I put it on my desk, and I'm just like staring at them. So I'm like, okay, I have got to use this pink. Like, this is insane. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm absolutely in love with it. So let's go ahead and use this. We're gonna create a pink eye look, and I'm gonna go for something like soft, not nighttime dramatic, but cute daytime dramatic. All right, to kick off, I'm gonna be taking this Beauty Killer palette, and I'm gonna start off using this shade right here. It's my skin tone shade. It's called Courtney, and I want you to use whatever skin tone shade that you normally use for your crease. And then I'm gonna be taking a fluffy blending brush, also known as a tapered blending brush. And I'm gonna put this shade in my crease. Now to do this, I just want to do very soft motions. If you feel like your eyeshadow is harsh on you and it looks very like built up and unblended and like there's patchiness, a technique you can try is, instead of holding your brush up here, when you hold up here, it gives you more power in your push, which is good sometimes, like when you're packing a color onto your lid or onto your eyes. But when you're going for a soft, smoked out airbrush effect, holding at the tip of your brush gives you less power and a softer touch. So you can hold down there to just softly get into your crease and blend it, because it's all about a light touch. When this brush is touching my skin, it's barely touching. It's touching just enough to move the product around. Now I'm gonna go in with this shade called China White, and I'm gonna put that in my brow bone with an angled brush. Ooh, girl, oh, I had leftover powder on this brush, and it just got all over my brow. Okay, so when you make a mistake like that, we just put such a light layer. I had a darker shade on this brush left over. Oh my God, I could literally see it like flying off. All right, so that's how mistakes happen. So just basically take your finger and just buff it away. And then we're gonna redo that step. Now I'm gonna be taking the shade called Star Power, and I'm gonna be taking a short shader. And this is Pink. So to get it a little bit softer on my lid and not actually be this like bright and Barbie doll pink, you just put a little bit less product. Don't pack it on right away. You can build it up later. But the less you pack on, the lighter it will come out. And I'm just taking this all over my lid. So what you want to do when you're packing product onto your lid is you take your brush and you just push and dab, push and dab. You're gently pushing and dabbing. Press, release, press, release, press, release, press, release. Over and over and over again. And for this look, I don't want to bring this up all the way to my crease. As you can see, my crease is up here. I'm gonna keep this low on my lid. Now I'm gonna go back in with that tapered blending brush, also known as a fluffy blending brush, if you hear that. And I'm not gonna pick up any extra product. I'm just going in to buff out the crease and lid. So doing this right now takes that color on the lid and helps it transition to the shade we put into our crease. And it's gonna make it look seamless and blended. And if we didn't do it, there was a chance that it can be patchy and harsh looking at the transition point. Now what I'm going to be doing is taking this light peach tone blush that I have. I'm going to go back in with that same tapered blending brush, and I'm going to lightly put a thin layer into my crease and lid area. So now for the fun, we're gonna go in with this shade from Fenty Beauty called Techno Beat, and it's a liquid eyeliner. Oh my God, I only swatched it in the store. I've never tried it on my eyes, only on my hands, and the shade dries, beautifully. So, just so you know, I am not used to using this type of wand. I am used to using an angled brush or a very thick tipped liquid liner. So, experiment with all kinds, and just know if you ever buy a liquid liner and you don't like the tip or you can't work with it yet, you can always take your brush. So I have a eyeliner brush and an angled brush that I could take and just dip into this product and then use that brush. So you don't have to use this wand if you don't like it. You have options. Let me show you. Okay, so here's an example of how you could do that. You basically take your small angled brush and just pick up the product on the tip. Or you can try to get into here and pick up the product. Either way, whichever's working. And now you have it on your small angled brush in order to apply. See? So now we're going to curl our lashes. And to do this, you just take your curler, get it as close to the bottom of your lashes that connects to your skin as you can without it hurting. This should not hurt. If you're pulling and it hurts, you're going too far and you're holding in the wrong place. You should be able to comfortably be able to hold that. So what you do is you take your curler, get it in tight, and looking at yourself in the mirror is a great way to do it because you can see when it gets there. And then you just hold and release. Now I'm gonna take a little bit of my mascara, and this is the Iconic London mascara. And I'm gonna do a light shade because I'm gonna put false lashes on. I'm gonna do, excuse me, light shade. I'm gonna do a light layer. Literally, I have so much going on in my head when I talk sometimes. I'm like, in my head it's right, and when it comes out, it's like, what did I just say? I'm like, I don't know. I didn't mean to say that. I think I have like dyslexia or something. Now, here's a tip. Whenever you put a liquid liner on and it gets into your lashes, you're gonna have that thick, clumpy spider effect. So what you do is when you feel like you have, like your lashes are getting clumpy, like this one is because the liner got on it, you don't add excess product, and instead you just use your wand to comb out what's already in it. And still, if that doesn't work, then you're gonna take a spoolie and go from the top down and comb it out like this, watch. So now I'm gonna be taking a short shader, and I'm gonna be going back in with that shade called Courtney and put this underneath our lower lashes. And when you do this, you want to take whatever brush that you're using and just gently push it as high as you can right underneath your lower lashes. And then you can gently go back and forth to build it up. Then I'm going to be taking the same brush and going in with this shade right here called Princess. And it's like a lavender, a very light lavender shade with a lot of shimmer in it. And I'm going to be taking it and putting it into my tear duct to really make it pop right there. Now here's the tip I have. I take my free sample mascara that I usually get every time I buy something at the makeup store, and I'm gonna use it to apply that on my lower lashes. And I love using the shorter ones for lower lashes because it just gets you right up in there and helps you make less mistakes. Now I'm gonna be going in with this Anastasia Brow Wiz, and this is in the shade Medium Brown. Now to do this look, I want a really soft, natural, but defined effect. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my pencil and I'm gonna hold right here, and I'm gonna do nice little flicking back and forth motions like I'm creating a line, a sharp line of little hairs. All the way down to the tail of my brow. And then I'm gonna start right here on the upper outline of my eyebrow and do the same thing. And when I'm pushing this into my skin, it is so light. I'm barely touching my skin with this pencil. Now I'm gonna go to the inside of my brow and I'm gonna flick my little created hairlines the same direction that my hairs naturally go. Now I'm gonna take the spoolie and comb through my brows very lightly. And what this is gonna do is it's gonna comb the product with my brows to make it look more natural, like it was all meant to be. Now I'm going to be taking this NARS eyeliner pencil in the shade Mamba, and I'm going to be putting it into my waterline. Now here's a trick. If you're a pro, you could probably just take it like I just did and put it like this. However, if it really hurts you when you do that, or if it bothers you in any way, what you do is you take your finger and you gently pull down, exposing your waterline, and you're getting it away from your eyeball. So now when you go to fill it in, you're not gonna be scraping all along your eyeball, and it's gonna irritate you and feel really uncomfortable. And it just takes a gentle pull down, that's it. Don't be harsh with it. Another trick, if you still feel like that's a little bit harsh, is when you pull down, make sure that the angle of your brush is parallel with your waterline, because now you can see how the pencil is completely even pointing away from my eye and only on my waterline. And if you do it like this, you're still pointing at your eyeball. So essentially wherever your pencil points is where it's gonna go. So if you point it down only on your waterline, you'll avoid scraping your eyeball. So now I'm gonna go in for a natural bronze and blush effect. So I'm gonna take this Avon palette, it's called the Blooming Blush palette, and I'm gonna go in with this bronze shade right here. And I'm gonna be taking a angled contour brush, and I'm just gonna blend it into a mixture of the hollows of my cheek and my cheekbone. I'm just kind of make it a little bit blown out. Now I'm going to take it all along my hairline. And to do this, I'm just going in back and forth motions. You can also do circular motions, but the goal is to push the bronzer back into your hairline. Now, this brush is very important to keep clean because as you can see, I'm kind of mixing, not kinda, I'm mixing my hair into this brush. So I'm kind of like combing it. And my hair has its own type of oils that it creates. And those oils going on your face aren't necessarily the best for your face sometimes. So if you're experiencing breakouts up here, just always make sure you're keeping your contour brushes that you use in your hairline clean. And that might help eliminate the problem. Trust me, I know. I've been experiencing hardcore acne for about 3 years now, and I know all the little details that I wish I never knew, but I do because I'm really trying to control it. So now I'm going to be taking this orange shade right here, and I'm going to put it on the apples of my cheek and then drag it back on my cheekbone. And I'm using the same brush. And then I'm going to put it just on my temples. And I'm just going to do a swipe down the bridge of my nose. Maybe a little bit of back and forth to give me that natural sun-kissed effect for the daytime. All right, so now I'm going to be taking this Kylie Jenner highlighting palette, and I'm going to be using this shade right here. And it's called Do Not Disturb. And I'm going to be taking a fan brush, and I'm just going to put that right on the top of my cheekbone. A little bit on my temples, just a little. A little bit on my Cupid's bow. And then I'm going to take my finger, dab it into there, put a little dot on the tip of my nose, and then I'm going to run it up the bridge of my nose. And last, I'm going to be taking this roasted chestnut, So this is the finished look. As you can see, we completely broke the rules. We did a moisturizer, a loose powder, and then topped it with a liquid foundation. You've probably always heard to never do that, but the people who are also telling you that are doing it wrong themselves. So this is the proper technique in order to achieve this, and this technique gives an absolutely flawless finish. This is my go-to foundation routine. Because it allows me to use less product when I'm really having breakouts and trying to give my skin a little bit of a break, and I can apply a light layer and still have a beautiful coverage and a beautiful finish. It's not cakey, it's not anything. This is the right technique how to do it. So I really hope you enjoyed this look, and I really hope that you try this out, because this is really going to have a positive impact on your makeup game and give you another technique that you can use to apply flawless foundation.